Wrongly branded a traitor by his father Aeson, Prince Jason of Spartoi fled the Empire, exploring deep space for many years. When war broke out between the Spartoi Empire and the Arguian Confederacy, Aeson summoned his wayward son back home. But en route, his ship's converter blew. To avoid a complete meltdown, and with his ship apparently slipping backwards through time, Jason crash-landed in Earth's Colorado mountains, his arrival witnessed by Meredith Quill, who dragged him from the burning vessel. As she nursed him back to health and helped him rebuild his ship, the pair fell in love. After a year, Jason was ready to depart. Informed by his biocomps that Meredith had just conceived their child, and unwilling to endanger her, Jason reluctantly left Meredith behind, promising to return for her once the war ended, but mind-locking her memories, sparing her the heartbreak he felt. Less than a month later, Meredith married her childhood sweetheart, Jake. Suspecting Meredith's child was not his, when Peter Jason Quill was born, Jake angrily noted that the infant resembled neither of them. Intending to slay the child, Jake carried him outside, but suffered a fatal heart attack. Peter was left staring into the starlit sky for an hour before Meredith found the strength to crawl outside to him. Mentally and physically weakened, Meredith's world revolved around raising her son. Star-Lord, also known as his real name, Peter Jason Quill, the legendary Star-Lord, Star Prince, Space Lord, the legendary Outlaw Pete, or just, who are you, was essentially the founder of the Guardians of the Galaxy. He also created his own unnamed commando team for a short while, served on the United Front, the Imperial Guard, and even worked for NASA. Overall, Quill was basically just a normal human Spartoi hybrid, but in some comic storylines, he was also a cyborg and had a cybernetic left eye. During the Marvel Cinematic Universe storyline, however, it is known only that Quill is half human. He was abducted and adopted at a young age by the Ravagers, a group of interstellar thieves, smugglers, and pirates. They were supposed to return Quill to his father, an alien of some sort, but they kept him to themselves. With the Ravagers, Quill made a name for himself as a legendary outlaw. Quill's mother was killed by two Badoon aliens trying to end the Spartoi bloodline. However, Quill killed them with a shotgun before they got to him. Quill was placed in an orphanage, but escaped and eventually became a trainee NASA astronaut. He was on a NASA space station when an alien entity called the Master of the Sun visited them and offered the mantle of Star-Lord, an interplanetary policeman of sorts, to a worthy candidate. Quill volunteered, but a colleague was chosen over him. Quill was outraged, and NASA ordered him to return home and discharged him for his misconduct. He then proceeded to steal a scout ship, returned to the space station, and took his colleague's place to become Star-Lord. The Master of the Sun created an illusion in which he was able to find and kill the aliens that murdered his mother, and free himself of his past. Equipped with a sentient vessel called Ship, Peter Quill now became Star-Lord. Star-Lord was involved with a heap of intergalactic battles against crazy armies of the cosmos. He defeated the Fallen One by using Ship to sacrifice a Kree lunar colony to destroy the Fallen One, destroying Ship and landing Star-Lord in Nova Prime imprisonment for genocide. He organized the United Front with Nova Prime to battle the Annihilation Wave led by Annihilus, to keep them from conquering the universe. He helped fend off Thanos' Phalanx invasion and defeated their leader Ultron, though just barely. Mantis, Bug, and Rocket rescued an unconscious Star-Lord as Groot once again sacrificed himself and destroyed the tower where most of the Phalanx were in. Once Ultron and the Phalanx were defeated, he saw to Mantis' and Groot's recuperation. Once Ultron and the Phalanx were defeated, Star-Lord formed Guardians of the Galaxy. This was necessary, as after two annihilation events, the universe was in a very fragile state, with fissures forming and spreading. Someone had to look after it. He had Mantis telepathically nudge Adam Warlock, Phyla-Vell, Rocket Raccoon, Drax the Destroyer, and Gamora to join his team. However, when they found out that he did this, everyone but Mantis quit the team. Star-Lord had many other adventures to still be played out in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. These include the killing of Thanos, about 3 or so times, time traveling to meet other teams of the Guardians of the Galaxy and the Avengers, and helping the Avengers on Earth. Given that he is a human Spartoi hybrid, Star-Lord has peak human strength, durability, agility, stamina, mental processing, and a very long lifespan. Though since he is a hybrid of human and Spartoi, it is unknown how long exactly his lifespan would be. He is an expert marksman, an expert martial artist, a master tactician and strategist, an accomplished starship pilot, and has extensive knowledge on various alien customs, societies, and cultures, as well as knowledge about various cosmic abstracts, such as Oblivion. Star-Lord has a translator implant on his neck, allowing him to understand various alien languages. At one point, he was given cybernetic implants, including a cybernetic eye, which allowed him to see all energy spectrums, and a memory chip in his brain, which gave him 100% recall ability. However, these were eventually removed. He's worn Kree heat-dampening espionage battlesuits as well as his own Star-Lord armor. He had a psychic link to his living starship, Ship. Star-Lord uses an element gun, a pistol capable of conjuring one of the 4 elements, and Kree submachine guns. I hope you learned something about Peter Quill, aka Star-Lord, in this episode of Geek Bites. Star-Lord has an extensive history and involvement in the Marvel Universe, so I could not go into all of his adventures and accomplishments in one video. Be sure to leave a like on this video if you liked it, a dislike if you disliked it, leave us a comment if you have something to say. Be sure to subscribe for more geeky videos just like this one. My name is Adam, or Fox. Thanks for watching.